There's somebody in your energy right now who is very confused about what they should do in this connection, in this situation. It feels like the two of you come from very different worlds, very different backgrounds. You are very different from anyone they have ever met or have ever dated before. And these differences aren't negative things, but there's almost a sense of like, I don't know what to do with you, and I don't want to fumble the blessing that I can see and understand that you are. So, with this energy of Caradwin, this is somebody who is kind of going through almost like a mini dark night of the soul at this particular point in time. They are confronting a lot of their kind of like past ideas as far as love is concerned, partnership is concerned, what they have imagined that they were worthy of in terms of love and partnership, the types of people and situations that they settled for previously, even kind of taking into account sort of like emotional damage, scars, and wounds that still exist from previous connections, most especially ones where they took a chance on someone or they let someone into their life who was never worthy of them to begin with. Something where they really stooped, they really kind of scraped the bottom of the barrel in terms of the nature of maybe a lot of toxicity going on, how they were showing up in the connection kind of like with someone, and both people kind of brought out the worst in one another, that in some sort of way it feels like has left a lasting impression upon this person, where they almost thought, I shouldn't set my sights too high because I'm just going to be disappointed. And so that might have been okay for a while. They were just kind of skimming the bottom, skimming the surface level connections. Maybe they've been single for a while because of this. And you've come into their life and you've stirred something up within where they are very drawn to you. They're very magnetized towards you. They've definitely got a crush. They're definitely, heavily in their feelings at this particular point in time. But they are struggling to kind of come into a place of belief that what is happening between the two of you is, like genuine, like you're really seeing them for who they are, or what they're presenting, and that you really are interested. There's also kind of a sense here of almost like, what would people think? What would people think if the two of us were seen with one another? So this might be something where you bring out the best in this person, and there's kind of a sense of like, what would people think if I just sort of, was no longer in this like pessimistic or mopey kind of energy? What would people think if I had that spring in my step? What would that do for my image? That perhaps is something that has been instrumental in kind of like career developments for this person, or it's something that like friends and family or within their community people have acclimated to, that like the version of them that came out of a season of profound heartbreak. And so it feels like it's almost that this person sees like a connection with you would bring out better elements of that, but there may also be sort of like a fear of, how can I show up in the rest of my reality if who I become in your presence, or even when I sit in this immersion within my feelings, if it's so different from who I have been on my own up to this point in time. We've got heart centers. So you have definitely activated this person's heart center. You have stirred something in them that is very confrontational on a deep emotional level. This is somebody who has definitely tried to shut you out, shut the connection out. They might have ghosted you. They might have, cut off communication very abruptly. There could have been some hot and cold, some back and forth between the two of you. You might have had to set up boundaries with this person because of that. Whatever the approach is, whatever the nature of this connection is, it could just even be somebody who is struggling internally, struggling with the process of like surrendering to these feelings, surrendering over to the experience of this connection, because it feels so different, it feels so new, it conflicts very much with what has been kind of their state of being, emotionally speaking, in terms of like what they are worthy of, who they would be in like partnership with if they would get into partnership again. It feels like you bring a very high vibration, a very light vibration, a very authentic vibration and experience, of just like human connection, but also of potential romance to the table. And so again, this is somebody that's like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't think, and I don't feel that I would necessarily not fumble this if we were to take things a step further. But then they also see that like I'm also simultaneously fumbling this by not doing anything. So this is somebody that might be quiet at this particular point in time. There's silence, there's distance, or they're keeping a lot bottled up at this point. But this is definitely somebody that is like, they're up late at night thinking about this. It feels like you enter in. It's almost like an intrusive thought in sort of the boring or the quiet or the monotonous points in their day. If this is somebody that like goes to the gym and they're working out, when they get in the zone, instead of being kind of in that state of no mind, thoughts of you come flooding in. It's like this person can't escape you. They can't escape your energy. They can't escape these feelings. And they see this as almost kind of like a challenge point. Like, am I going to let fear win, or am I going to take the fact that I can't seem to outrun this? I can't push you away. I can't successfully kind of like shut down these feelings. You've activated something within me, and my eyes will not unsee that. Am I going to take that as an opportunity and move forth, be brave, go, head first into this experience with you? Or is this something that I'm going to allow to sort of stop me and keep me in my comfort zone? And then I'll always be left wondering, what if, what could have been? We've got sacred waters. So this person sees you as a very gentle soul. This is something where this person doesn't want to bring confusion and heartbreak to you. If they've already kind of given you mixed signals, mixed messages, or you're not really sure, like, does this person feel anything? Are they interested? If they had like cut off communication or ghosted, you might have been like, did I say something? Did I do something? Things seem to be, going well. It was interesting. And, then all of a sudden they kind of dropped off. Like, I don't know what happened. This person is very like aware of that. They take a lot of that responsibility onto their plate at this point in time, which it feels like is kind of adding to the sense of like, I don't know what to do in this situation, because I don't want to like cause you any sort of distress. And yet I'm terrified of these feelings that I have. I'm terrified of missing out on an opportunity with you, but I'm also scared to bring this like internal chaos to your doorstep and in some sort of way awaken your heart space, or kind of like make you think something will happen between the two of us, and then I leave, and then I abandon you, and then I kind of like drop the situation. This person almost feels that you're the type of soul or the type of energy that, to hurt you, to cause you distress, to cause you heartbreak through someone who is like uncertain or unprepared, or even would be kind of low vibrational. It's almost like the universe wouldn't be happy about that. You may give off a vibe that you're like really protected energetically speaking, or there's just like a gentleness, there's a purity about your energy that would almost make this, it makes this person feel really guilty at this point in even any kind of like stress or uncertainty or distress that they've caused you. And so they're very cautious about kind of like, if they take steps towards you, they know that there has to be some kind of certainty, because they almost feel that it's sort of like, I don't want to unlock like bad karma for myself if I mishandle you, if I am not pure in my intentions as well, if I am operating on that kind of paradigm of fear and I create disruptions for you, certainly that is something that like the universe would not bless me with such a high vibrational opportunity a second time. This person sees you as like a once in a lifetime person. And although there is this energy of like you come from two different worlds, two different backgrounds, that this might even be something that you draw a lot of attention from people if you were together as a couple. Maybe just like visually there could be differences between the two of you, cultural differences, age difference, difference in your style and your lifestyle and how you present, or even just a sense of like the vibe that is given off. Like this person feels to be somebody that has kind of been rooted in this energy of almost like apathy for a while, or pessimism, like they're just kind of shut down to the idea of love, or maybe even in life in general. They almost just have kind of like a neutral vibration to them, versus you seem to bring like a very high vibration to the table, a very authentic, a deep vibration. And so that is something that it feels like they can't hide in your presence, but it's also they don't carry a presence that you would be able to successfully sort of dim your light within. Like you have enough contrast with yourselves that it would be quite noticeable. And it would be the kind of thing that it feels like would people would congratulate them or make them happy, but they might also be somebody that's like, I just like to be inconspicuous. I just like to blend in. And if I were seen with you, it's like all eyes would be on us. All eyes would be on me. And that makes me very uncomfortable because that's so different from what I'm used to. This person sees you as like a bright shining star, and again there's a sense of almost like I can't shut these feelings off as far as you are concerned, but I don't know if I'm strong enough within myself to do right by you, to stand next to you, to kind of like move forward in the direction of some kind of connection which could develop. And I don't know if I would do like a good job or like do right by you emotionally, because there's so much fear within this person, like a fear that almost that your love could help lift them up, like they become so used to something where they had to like enter into this neutral vibration, this neutral expectation, not have too high of hopes as far as romance is concerned. And so there's a part of them that's almost like, why would someone like you be attracted to someone like me? Why would someone like you be interested, even if they've provided some inconsistency or there's been some miscommunication or like ghosting or hot cold experiences? It's like, why would someone like you be willing to kind of like put up with that? Or could someone like you even see through the nature of what has been sort of demonstrated very immediately? Could someone like you have patience with me as I gathered my internal resources, my courage, my strength, my sense of self, and came towards you in a more open or stronger sort of energy? And if so, like, what would that mean for me? Like, it feels like this person has a hard time like celebrating themselves. They may have a hard time receiving compliments or being kind of like just seen in the fullness of themselves. And yet with you, with like the light that you give off very naturally, there's nowhere to hide. And so this person sees that as almost like you are a lot. You are someone that they would describe that you're a lot. You're not high maintenance, but you're a lot. And so there's something that almost like, to stand by you romantically speaking, it would require anybody to kind of like be willing and open to become something more within themselves. Like you challenge this person to evolve or to kind of like relax into a place where there's no need to wear masks, even in your presence, even if it's just the two of you behind closed doors, or in moments where you've had conversation or interactions, even if it's been through in like about mundane things, surface level things, nothing romantic. It's like this person feels very like seen, very witnessed, very recognized in your presence. And it's a sense of almost like makes them uncomfortable, but at the same point in time, it's like, but I can't look away from that. I can't fully and honestly tell myself, no, I don't want that, because I keep being drawn back to you. You also have celestial. So this person definitely thinks that you're like an earth angel or a star seed. There's something about you that is very extraordinary, something very otherworldly about you, something very almost like more than human, but in like a good way, not in like a spooky and like, oh no, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, I don't know if this is a good idea kind of thing, but it's something that is almost like an invitation for this person to sort of transcend the limits of people that might have been operating in that they'd been dealing with in the past, that were operating very much within kind of like their darkness or their shadow nature, where it was only kind of like lower vibrational or toxic connections, circumstances where it's like it brought out the worst in this person, or situations that were just kind of like the challenge was to just sort of like stuff the authenticity down, and kind of like play a role, do a dance in order to present happy couple on the outside, but inside it was almost like roommates, or two people who were at opposition with one another, trying to play house, trying to like build or maintain a relationship. Like, that's the status quo of what this person has been informed of in terms of romance so far. And here you come, prancing into their life, into their world, into their reality, and the essence that you bring, the gentleness that you bring, the purity that you bring, the strength that you bring, the honesty and the clarity that you bring, the beauty that you bring. This is something that is transcendent. It is next level. It is otherworldly. And it's something where there's a lot of curiosity within this person as well. Like, why am I resisting this? Why am I so focused on that idea of what would other people think, when to be with you, to be seen with you, to be your significant other, that would be a radiant experience. That would be a blessing. Like, anyone should feel honored to have that. Anyone should be lucky to have that. So why am I standing here? Why am I sitting on the fence? Why have I pushed this away? Why have I taken a giant step back, and I'm just sitting here trying to kind of like shut these feelings off, and yet I keep being drawn back to you? This person may be seeing a lot of like signs and synchronicities relating to you as well, where it's kind of like, I can't forget you if I tried. The universe is kind of like trying to get this person's attention. Like, you need to look towards this. Either look towards this and step forth into a transcendent experience of love and romance, or miss out and then look at your own reflection and see what inside of you would have kind of been so motivated to push away the blessing of the experience of a higher level love. We also have the white stag. Yeah, so this is somebody that is getting a lot of kind of like intuitive hits, intuitive downloads, intuitive nudges that are encouraging them to not give in to that path and polarity of fear, to take steps towards you, to be bold, to be brave. But there's also a sense of like they're the deer caught in the headlights. Like, in your presence, they can do no more but just like stand there and drink in the essence of all that you are. You are exquisite. You are delicious. You are ethereal. You are, an angel in the flesh. And there's something within this person that is almost like struggling to see their worthiness, to be held in a space of love and understanding by someone like you, but also in terms of like, am I ready to let go of the parts of myself which are prone to self-defeat, or which have kind of been conditioned to just sort of look low and expect low, when you are somebody that it's almost like it's a call to rise. It's a call to rise into love, rise into a higher version of self, or to allow kind of like the negative experiences or the disappointments of the past to simply be washed away by this new and unique experience of love and partnership and connection and romance that they feel that you are bringing to the table, or that you are offering them, or that has been experienced so far. So this is somebody that definitely, they've turned away, or they're at a standstill, or they're very quiet, but you're still on their mind. They are very like haunted by the way things have kind of like turned out between the two of you. But this is somebody that's almost kind of like, it doesn't feel like this is the end of the road or the end of the journey for us. Like, I can't make that be the case, because I keep being drawn back towards you. I keep, thinking of you. I keep having these kind of like moments of nostalgia. I keep being very hard on myself about what I should have said, what I should have done, if I still have the opportunity to say or do anything different. So you may be picking up on this person's energy, feeling this person's energy around you, because they're thinking about you a lot. That thought transference, that energy flows where attention goes. And so as much as this person is like, even the act of trying to not think about you, trying to sort of shut down those feelings, close off that heart space which has been activated, that is an energy of effort. So it flows towards you as well. And also the times where they're like, okay, I'm exhausted. I can't fight this. I'm just going to indulge. I'm going to look at this person's social media. I'm going to look back at our old conversations. I'm going to sit in the realm of fantasy. I'm going to bring myself up out of that resistance and into a place of a flow state. More so at those times do you probably feel this person's energy coming towards you in a very uninhibited way. So there may be some forward progress with this person. This almost feels like somebody like, don't discount this person. If they're going through like a little mini dark night of the soul, that's probably just like layers of themselves that they need to shed, in order to kind of put themselves in a proper position to be able to experience something that they sense with you would be a very new and unique experience of love and partnership than anything they've ever known, because you are so different from anybody they have ever encountered before. So, those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.